Hey guys, just back on working on Project Bastard here, and look at what I did to the top end. As I said in the first video, I am putting a 96 RXL 650 motor in Project Bastard. And if anybody knows, on the 96, on the 650s, they went to a lavender colored head on them. I just couldn't live with it. It wasn't growing on me. I had the motor sitting in the chassis over here for a couple weeks. I had the pipes mocked up on it. The color never grew on me, and I've always liked the red heads. I have several Indy 650 redhead motors, and I just decided yesterday, it's like, I can't live with the lavender anymore. I pulled the heads off, bead blasted them, cleaned them all up, and painted them red, and I love the look. Just love it. I cleaned up the cylinders. As long as I had everything apart, I cleaned up the cylinders. I cleaned up the water neck in the front. Trenton did hours worth of polishing on the head. I don't know if you call this a torque plate or a head plate or what you call it, but I know some guys were putting them on to keep the cylinders true, so as they heated up, they didn't twist, and I think that resulted in the bolts breaking, the cylinder bolts. And so this was way before my time. You know, the 650s were just coming out when I was getting into snowmobiling, and I don't know a lot about, I've learned more over the years now than I ever knew back when these first came out, but I know a lot of guys were putting these plates on the top like this, and this one looked like crap. We sanded it and then polished it. I painted the back water neck assembly too, and then left the water fill spot brass. And I had to change out this rail. I had to put the 90, I have a 91, I'm using a bunch of 91 stuff also, the carbs, the ignition and stuff out of a 91 650. It's kind of a donor motor towards this because this motor doesn't have the right stator in it. These plugs, I don't know what year this is for, but somebody swapped out the stator in here, but I'm going to put a 91 stator into it, and I'm going to run carbs on it. And so I wanted to run the 91 water neck also, so everything will be the right. And I ran the 91 water pump cover also because it doesn't have the Polaris tag on it. I'll show you the 96 cover. Has the tag in the middle of it. Well, I wanted to polish it out like that, and I wanted to hang on to this so I have all the information for the motor, and I didn't want the tag, so I'll keep this water cover on the shelf so I know what everything the motor is, and so I polished out the 91 water cover. I just think this top end looks sexy. I took and even cleaned up the lower end a little bit. Didn't get too crazy on it because 90% of that you're not even going to be able to see once it's in the sled and the pipes are on it. The pipes pretty much cover up everything in the front of the engine, but you'll see all that right there. Every time that hood's open to show it off, you're going to be seeing all that right there, and that's what I wanted to look pretty. The pipes just went in today for ceramic coating. Trenton brought in my set for Project Bastard. He brought in his set for his Storm. So we got two sets of pipes in at the ceramic coater right now. The last couple days I've been in here cleaning all this up in here, scraping and scuffing, and I'm going to paint it. I'm not getting nuts here. I'm not restoring. I'm not doing anything like that. I'm just going to paint it to clean this up. There was 4 inches of a mouse nest down in the bottom of this thing when I got this chassis. And so it sat in there and just festered. And so I just cleaned all this up. And like I said, I'm just going to do a quick paint on here. I'm not going to rattle can it. I'm going to do an epoxy primer on it. And then I'll do a paint with a hardener and stuff. I mean, it'll be a good paint, but I'm not going nuts here. I mean, this is going to be a rider. I want to be able to ride it. I want to be able to take it anywhere I want to be able to go with it and not worry about, oh, I don't want to scratch it. I don't want to get anything dirty. I don't want to get exhaust stuff down it. No, this isn't what this sled is all about. This is to ride, to have fun on, go out, rip it across the lake, tear it down trails, do all that kind of stuff. And that's why I'm building this one. And I'm not even gonna paint the side of the tunnel or anything. It's gonna get rubbed off again anyway. So I'm gonna stop my paint line like right down in here. I'm gonna paint all this right to the top of the toe holds, and that's it. Just anything that's scuffed in aluminum, whatever I got down here, that's it. I'm gonna mask off all the belly pan stuff. Cleaned all this up, and I think later in the week I'll get all this painted. I just wanted to get a video going here again before I got too far along on this. I kind of wanted to show, you know, the first video I did, the hood was on this thing, so you didn't even see how nasty this was underneath here because I was kind of ashamed of it and I didn't want to really show it, but here it is. This is what I got. This is what I'm starting with. And the next video, this will all look a lot better. And that's why I wanted to show this, that, you know, with a little bit of work, and like I said, I'm not going nuts on it, a little bit of work, a guy can clean this stuff up and make it look nice again. I restored a 91 RXL. It's probably been going on 3 years ago now. And I did the same thing. I pulled the motor out and cleaned it all up underneath here. The thing looked fantastic when I was done. I mean, just a little bit of work. And I had to make a new deal that went through my belly pan too for the exhaust. The one that was in there was all rotted off, so I used a piece of stainless, piece of aluminized pipe here, tack welded it to it. That'll get bolted back down in there, and now none of that will corrode. That's aluminized, that's stainless. None of this stuff will corrode, and the exhaust goes right into there. So just something I put together quick here. I mean, didn't take long. Just had a saw a hole through some 16 gauge stainless, drilled a couple holes for the little flapper that goes in front of the exhaust and stuff there, and I'll have to drill 2 holes for the rivets once I get this bolted in place. So just real quick little part I made. Didn't go nuts on it, but this here, none of this stuff here will ever corrode again. So, you know, just some stuff I had laying around the shop, take care of that. Did a little cleaning underneath the hood here too. Somebody had taken out all the foam years ago because I think, like I said, this came off a race sled. There was some cutting and stuff done on here for the pipes. You can see a little notch work down in here. Trenton pulled this off tonight quick and did a little cleanup on that little piece too, being that we're doing a little bit of polishing and cleaning up on stuff. He cleaned up that hood brace also. So, but that's where I'm at, guys. Next video, this will all be painted. I'll probably even have the engine sitting in it by then too, because pretty much once that's painted, I can put all the water lines back in, drop the engine back in. I already did the mock-up with the engine and the pipes in there, so I know everything's going to fit good. That's why I went ahead and started to get this painted, to get the motor cleaned up. I got a gasket set coming so I can put that back together. The motor had never been fired. This thing was rebuilt before I even bought it, and so everything came apart real good. But being everything's been torqued down once already, the $35 gasket set, I'm just going to buy it and put it back together, new gaskets, torque everything back down again, and then I'll change out the stator, drop the engine in, and then we can start the reassembly of this thing. So like I said, I'm trying to move this thing along fairly quickly. The quicker I get it done, the less I do to it, and like I said, and I'll be more apt to want to ride it all the time. Like I said, I just don't want to get too crazy on it, but I am going to make it look really nice when it's done. And I might even make my own radius rod and stuff. I might make some out of chromoly. I don't know. I'm kind of just undecided on that one. The ones I have are rusted and bent. I'm trying to get a set from a guy out of Idaho right now. Most of his stuff out there is clean, rust-free. But I thought, you know, I could spend a little bit of extra effort, make them out of chromoly, make my trailing arms out of chromoly too, and it'll be very special, kind of a one-of-a-kind deal then. Not many of them run around with chromoly front ends on them, especially in this year. Laters, you know, the 2000s and stuff had a lot of chromoly in the front of them. So this would be kind of a special deal having chromoly on the front. So might do it, might not. I haven't decided if I want to put that much work into it. So, but stay tuned, guys. More videos to come. Thanks for watching. Appreciate the comments. Please share. And if you're not subscribed yet, please subscribe to my channel. If you're into indies or Polarises or just building stuff in general, please subscribe. Thanks, guys.